all of you are going to be designers, and when you have chosen this discipline, meaning that you are going to create something, you are going to create, improve, whether it is a product or process or systems, wherever you go. We talked about service design, we talked about product design, we talked about information design, universal design, different type of things which are there. I was lucky to set up first design incubator at NID, and this was many years ago, and we felt, and this is important thing actually, we felt that you guys come out with such a beautiful ideas in the classroom, and those ideas when you make prototype, then you show it in these kind of seminar symposium which is happening, and then afterwards you're gone, you join a job, and those ideas remain there in portfolio and nothing happens. But I think those ideas which are there, which lot of thinking has gone behind it, has a business proposition also. Not necessarily all ideas have, but if you investigate something, then there is certainly some insight into the classroom project which you are doing and which has a business proposition. So where with your thinking, classmates thinking, so we thought that we should have this idea bank, and we created this idea bank of students projects, and we said that we should take it to the next level. And taking it to the next level, that you are a creative person, you want to come out, your creativity is coming out every day and flowing, but business requires little bit different understanding. So we felt that we should, if any creative idea which is solving some problem, or not necessarily all the time solving problem, creating new opportunity also, because the way things are happening, lot of new opportunities are coming, and the government is also giving lot of importance to small businesses, and we don't call it entrepreneurship, we call it designerpreneurship. The designer is becoming entrepreneur. So those were the days when people used to talk that okay, you become designer and you join a fashion house, you join some industry and you do something. But in India, if you go to, for example, Jaipur, Delhi, Mumbai, Ahmedabad, Bengaluru, Hyderabad, lots of young graduates, they are setting up design offices. They are providing design consultancy services, and they are developing their own products also. And Michael Foley, Neil Foley, if you have heard, those who are working in Titan, and they said that day in and day out, we can't make just watches, we need to do something, we are creative people. And they said that we should also create something simple product and put it and manufacture it and then sell it. So you guys have that capability that you can design for others, you can design for yourself, you can make prototypes, you can make batch production, and then you can market it. And the power of internet today is so much that it has democratized the power of design, that you at the age of 20 can become entrepreneur, because that online marketing, online shopping, all those possibilities are there. I feel now that yes, the job is one thing which you can always keep it in mind, but give a try to set up your own business also, because you see it doesn't require much of investment. Because of the technology, you can provide your services, you can have products, and in business what designers are doing, they are not investing big money in setting up the manufacturing base or ye machine lagana, wo machine lagana, nothing. No such big investment is happening, because there are people who provide services. If you want a rapid prototyping, there are a group of people who will provide rapid prototyping. You need to make a linkages with all these people who do machining, who do plastic production, who do packaging, who do graphics, who do rapid prototyping. And if you make the network of such kind of thing, the business becomes very, very simple. Then this is the part of the business, that when you are making a prototype, you are making batch production, then you are marketing on e-marketing channels and all, which are very good. But then when designerpreneurship, when we are developing, I think there is one important thing which right from the college days you need to learn, is the intellectual property. because this intellectual property, each product which you have made, whether it is a garment, whether it is any jewelry, whether it is product, furniture, I think please develop this habit to register your design. Now there are different things, design registration, patent, copyright, all those things are different, which you should know. I don't know you heard or not, but if you are talking about intellectual property, the patent is the thing which where the innovation, some technological innovation or something which is very unique, you can patent it. Patent is difficult, but it is something which is any major innovation in terms of technology, material or something which you can patent. And you know, there are people who holds the patent, they make money out of that intellectual property. If you ask Nokia phone today, Nokia phone is not big business profit making mobile phone, but you know what how they are making money. There are so many components in Nokia which they have invented, which have been patented, which are being used by other mobile company, and they have to pay royalty for that. So they are making money because of the intellectual property they have created. So when we get into the business, we must understand the intellectual property also. Intellectual property, your classroom project, anything is there. It is only 1,000 rupees to take it register. There are people who will help you, but when your portfolio you go and discuss with somebody and you say that I have 25 registered design, not 25 projects are there in your classroom which you have done it, you register them. There are money is available from the government to encourage. The art school of design will have so many intellectual property created by the students, so it also gives some kind of benefit to the institution also, that we are adding to the intellectual property. The perseverance and patience, these two things if you have, I think वो पीछे पड़ जाना बिजनेस के लिए, एंटरप्रेन्योरशिप के लिए जरूरी है. The moment you say that I will pursue it in whatever circumstance, I will not give up. Entrepreneurs don't give up. I think that, and mind you, lots of failures are also there, but you learn from the failures. So you should not be worried about failures. But if you pursue something, पीछे पड़ जाओगे इसके, results will come. So in USA, small, any mundane thing, they will go for file for patent. And why do they do that? They say in life, sometime if it becomes important, I will make a lot of money out of it. Here, we don't really realize that the wealth which you have created in classroom, but you really you don't project it as a big thing. You feel shy to project it. And I think that attitudinal correction you will have to do it, that start, don't become overconfident, but be confident in doing things. Don't start, overconfidence is not a very good thing, but confidence is important thing. And in business, you have to sell your ideas, so confidence is required. So if I talk, meaning that the design and entrepreneurship, when I talk about in design, I think there is a lot of learning, which I morning also mentioned, that our traditional knowledge, traditional way of things which are happening, they have potential of business. They have potential of business in some or the other thing which you see, which were used traditionally. And if suppose you really package it in a business format very well, you can make a export business and other such kind of thing. Ayurveda and other people have done lot of such kind of techniques in business, but in design also there is lot to learn, the cultural knowledge which we have, and we have to pick up those practices and see that if we can create something out of it. So that is one thing. Second is that the business part, as I said, there are mentors who come, incubator, they talk about where to get finances, where to get manufacturing support, how to do the marketing. So those are the people. You are not alone. In incubation ecosystem, there are mentors. I myself is mentor in this AICTE Innovation Lab. And then the people will come and they ask question and you reply them online, and then you connect them. Your whole mentoring aspect is that if you have some doubts, the doubt cleared by the mentors. Your faculty is very good mentor. and if suppose the visiting faculty, whoever are coming, they become very mentor. But you will have to be little extrovert to talk about your ideas and all those kind of things. Make a small beginning, but keep it in mind that I want to set up a design office, I want to set up enterprise, I want to really have a product. Meaning Michael Foley's studio I went, and you know, he made a very foldable idli thing which goes into the pressure cooker. Now you all of us must have seen this, that idli ka 3 tray hoti hai, andar dala and then it goes. He came out with a very folding kind of thing, you do it yourself and you give it as a gift, or you do whatever it is as a thing, and then he developed it so well that all those 8 or 9 idlis which can go into the pressure cooker is come out in a very small packaging, and there's a creativity which he did. So it may be a very cultural product, because idli is a very Indian things to do. But the moment you create something which can be packed easily, which can be online, you send it, it started cracking the market. It started getting in, people started buying things. And what is innovation? Foldability. What is innovation? Good small packaging which is there. So small improvement when you do, that becomes an entrepreneurship type of things which are there. So be observant and see that around what is happening around your area and how things are happening, and you can find that Rajasthan is very good in stone craft, the creative culture industry which we talk about. There is so much of craft entrepreneurship is possible where the traditional knowledge is there. Whether Javaja, I don't know you guys know about Javaja or not, but if you go to Fab India, the bag we designed 50 years ago at an idea is still selling in Fab India, which are vegetable tan leather and which are very what you call eco-friendly products which are there. So these are the traditional community which we are making. How you can make a mojdi in a newer avatar in your accessory design. How you can make the practice which we are doing, rugs which are making in Rajasthan, how you can create some such kind of thing and develop your own. So the partnership with artisan is another area, and this area is fantastic. I must say that the fashion designers or textile designers, if they partner with the crafts people, if they partner with the weavers, first of all, the previous generation of designer, you know, they used these craftsmen and weavers and put their name. But I would suggest you guys to co-create with the craftsmen. You guys to have a branding with the craftspeople, that they are your partners. They are your partners 50-50% if you wish. That if they are making a rug and if you are designing a rug, and when you are making, you have 50-50% profit. I tell you, the craft industry you will save with your intellectual property. Make them partner rather than using them as low price providers, which majority of exporters may have done it. And if you say that, okay, let us set up a company, you guys will make it, I will design it, because they are designing it for generations, their hand is very good, and we have done it in Africa. Actually, we have done it in Africa, where the basketry was made, very beautiful weaving technique they knew, but their product was not selling. And our students and faculty worked with Zimbabwe, Ethiopia and Ghana, and what they did was, obviously the new form which they developed with the technique which they had, but they did process innovation. They did process innovation, meaning they made a mold in thermocol or something like that, and they made some hand tools, improved hand tools. The lady was making only one basket in a day with the help of this mold, wooden mold or thermocol mold. They started making 5 to 6 baskets per day. So this is called process innovation. So it is not necessarily product innovation, but process innovation with design, that you are making one basket and you start making 10 baskets in a day, your productivity has gone up, and if your productivity has gone up, the grass or the natural fiber is no cost, but the product has a cost, your income has gone up. So these are the things I would suggest, whichever part of country you are coming from, set up the entrepreneurship with the local crafts people, make them a partner and create a business, because otherwise the next generation will not go in their parents' business. They don't see that their designs are selling because they are not relevant anymore. You guys can make it a relevant with your newer ideas, with understanding of processes, with understanding of dyeing. Your dyeing is also important. So when you are using natural dye, maybe you have a better understanding. You have learnt it in the classroom that how grass should be or how cotton should be or all these things are. So these are the techniques which you can use. And in creative culture industry, the two things are there. One is the creative part where these crafts people are making a beautiful products, but there is a human drudgery part also, and that is where, like the labor, that labor you remove from the animal and then you process it, that is all human drudgery, where 80% of time and energy they have to do it. And there are some simple technologies which are there which can reduce. So earlier the craftsman was putting 80% time in making the labor, 20% time in designing and making the bag. But if you change that, this 20% time was the creative time, if you say that okay, 20% time will go in preparing the raw material, 80% time will go into making the product, designing, making the product, you reverse the profitable cycle. And there it's a handmade product, you are not really capturing, taking out the handmade thing, but the drudgery which was there, that you have passed it on to the local technology, not very advanced technology, but this 80-20 thing you have reversed it, that 80% time you get into creative and 20% is making into raw material. I think these are the things which you can bring in with the creative culture industry, whether it is a jewelry or stone or leather or any type of handmade product which we are talking about. And future is with sustainability which we are practicing. And by the way, we in India, we always became very conscious about using the material and using the energy. So I think we have inherent quality of sustainability in our system, and that should be utilized because that will have a global attention to do that. So reusability aspect. If suppose your jeans are torn or your clothes are torn, can you repurpose the whole thing in your classroom? Can you make rugs out of those chimneys which have been made in things? So a lot of interesting thing, and then they have a very sustainable aspect. One of the designer in India, in Ahmedabad, what he started doing is that all packaging, lace chips and other things which are there, and the polythene bags, started collecting from the rag pickers, and then on a weaving machine, the one side the cotton threads which you put, another side this all lace and other things we started putting, and he started making bags out of it, and he started exporting to Sweden and Denmark and other places because there is a story to talk about. The plastic waste has repurposed into making the bags and all. And I tell you, in Switzerland, means this is we don't value, but in Switzerland this tarpaulin on the truck or the flags which are used by this on site of the hoarding and all, once the function is over, people started making bags and packaging and all, and that become fashion for the people to carry, that it was in previous life it was a tarpaulin or something and now it is a fashion bag. Same way I think in meaning this is our practice. If you go to Sunday market, you will see all these things, but we have not packaged it properly. We have not really packaged that particular thing, the flea market and other thing. Think about what we can do. Taiwan I went, there they collected the jeans and then they started working with adhesives and started making a chair which looks very dynamic actually, because the jeans, the texture is coming on the chair. So lot of such possibilities are there. And so business part I have tried and touched, the design part which I am talking about. Now the research part. Now research part, basically the Indian culture is an oral culture. Our forefathers, all these crafts people, they learn from generation to generation. You guys are all first year students? No. Craft documentation you must have gone through, or it will be coming sometime. So there are living traditions in India. Living traditions means folklore, making the even if you go to Srinagar and other places, they are making carpet without any documented method into it, and they are chanting shlokas and they are making carpet. I think this kind of oral knowledge which is there in exist, which is dying also because generation to generation they are not interested, that is the wealth for you guys to do research. The living tradition is something where you go to the villages, some practices are happening over there, you document them, you ask them, and it is not only material manipulation they are doing. Lot of philosophical aspects are there, that what kind of motifs they are using on the surfaces. There are spiritual connotations, there are some beliefs about community which they are having, there is a symbolism which is connecting you with the broader ecosystem of nature which has lot of circularity. So this has not been researched so much. Unfortunately, the Britishers' time, when we were having a British system, they didn't want to encourage that our indigenous knowledge should go further, because they wanted to force their knowledge to us, and deliberately they tried to kill our indigenous knowledge and made it's not scientific, we should not get into it has not been proven in the lab, and they will reject it, and we picked up the whole thing. And I think somewhere the designers are the trained creators, and I think they need to really look into that. If Indian garments which are designed in India or practiced for hundreds of years, what is the climatic condition it is connected with, what is the material and climate it is connected with, how this whole process of sustainability it has into it. If you do some research, you will find there is a lot of new knowledge for that. You know, kurtas were not having collar. All our kurtas, if you see, they don't have collar, because our climate is hostile. First thing, the shirt will go away from the collar. Most of us men, my male colleagues will agree with that. We have to throw the first shirt which is in good condition, but because of the sweat and abrasion, the first thing the collar goes. It is not conducive for this the environment condition which we have. Why we have adopted? Because it has come. So I think we have to make a statement. The collarless shirt should be the fashionable thing. We have to really create such kind of thing. So some of these things which have been imposed on it. You know why in army that jacket had these buttons over here? Have you heard about this story? What is that? The jackets have this? No, not that roll up the sleeves. Jacket means the suit. If the army suits and other suits were there are some buttons are there. Yeah. 3, 4, 5, 6 buttons. So story guys goes like that the army, obviously it has come from the cold country and jackets were wearing, and people have this habit that if suppose their nose is flowing, then they will do like that. So then somebody has come out with the idea is that if you create some button type of thing, it will not be very comfortable to do like that, and then that thing is gone, continuing the whole thing, meaning that there no rationality why buttons should be there, but they are there. It has no functional. We don't ask question. So we have to create create something which is very contextual. So morning I said, what is the definition of design? The definition of design is contextual use of technology is design. Contextual use, context become very important. Believe in yourself, understand the context. India is a very diverse country. We have minus 40 degrees centigrade to plus 40 degrees centigrade climate condition. We have hills and sea and other thing. Each area has a different context, and we have loads of opportunity to improve. Like Archana ji mentioned in the morning, it's not make in India but design in India and make for the world. So research is knowledge which is already there. Which is there means I would like you guys to talk to your grandmother and say what practices you are doing, and you will find that knowledge which is there. You may say, oh, my grandmother is illiterate, she studied only 5th standard. You cannot say she is illiterate. The wisdom which she has acquired over the years, there is so much of wisdom which you have to process in the lab and come out with the newer knowledge. So these are the things we should never ignore. A farmer who is talking to you, always talk to people make them comfortable. Craftspeople, even if you sit, the person who is repairing the shoes on the road will have something to give you. And I just give you an example. What is good design? We are talking about what is good design. Good design is like making a rasam or a dal. Not joking. Exactly the definition of design is making a good tasty rasam in South India, making a dal in North India. Now, how do you make a good tasty rasam or make a good dal? Proper amount of water, proper amount of dal, exact amount of heating. If you overheat, it will get burnt. If you don't heat, it will be kacha. Proper bagar. Now this, when you say that, when you are putting bagar, the cultural context come. That you want to eat sour kind of thing, you want Hyderabadi would like to have more tikha. So this is a cultural context is coming in. So this is an angle which is not necessarily will fit it in north or south same way when you are making a rasam or dal. A particular area, particular taste buds are there, and exactly has to be in right amount. Anything is more, the salt is more, you won't be able to eat. If chili is more, you won't be able to eat. If the temperature is more, you won't be able to eat. Everything is in right proportion and right time makes it a good rasam and good dal, same way the design is. Everything you have to put it in right proportion, otherwise it will become over design or less design. So anything which you do, it has to have a cultural angle, it has to have the processes which I said that making a rasam, right thing, right time, right quantity will make it a right design. I am sure this analogy will help you in future, that don't do any extra thing. You have to stop where the appropriate result is going to come. So research, I certainly would like you guys to investigate in your own roots and own culture and old tradition. Lot of papers you can publish globally. A lot of because of our, you see, we don't have textbook. Whatever we do, this is a research. Whatever information collection and analysis in design process which we are doing is a research. But you have to put it in particular format. Each classroom project which you have done is a research paper. How you have processed it. How have you really come out with this solution? You have not picked up or copied or something, you have created something new. And that is what it is. So there is a applied research and there is a pure research. Most of the time we get into applied research where the things are there and you are inventing something. And pure research is where the chemistry and maths and other things which we are talking about do that. Get into applied research, there is no harm in. But design research is something which is not so much in our country. We are more vocational and doing thing type of people, but we are not really deep diving into the systems which we are operating in, challenges which are happening around, and trying to find out appropriate solution. I would say that you should all maintain the diary. And diary maintaining, and if suppose some idea comes, note it down. And then when you will reflect after 1 year on those things which have come up, it is a good material for you to really take forward. So I will not take much time. The half an hour we have already spoken, but I would give some time for you guys to ask questions, so then we can have some discussion. So over to you. If any question, if anything is there, please feel free to ask. Yes, and don't worry about our confusion, because the chaos create order. When you are in chaos, the order comes. So confusion should not demoralize you.
So good afternoon, sir. I wanted to ask. You mentioned something about being confident and overconfident.
Not overconfident, confident.
Yes, but then you said we must be careful about being confident but not overconfident. So how do we know when to draw the line, or how do you?
No, you see, you have to do analysis somewhere where when you're saying that, you see, superiority complex is kind of inferiority complex. So when we talk about complexes, sometimes you want to hide something and you say that very powerful way, that is not correct. But if suppose you have come out with some idea, then at least articulate it, give rationale behind it. Overconfident, no, this is, I am telling you this is right. It's not the answer which we want. We want you to argue with us. If some idea has come, either you convince me or I will convince you. But that negotiation of discussion should happen. And that is the confidence I want you to discuss with your faculty, mentor, and put your point. And not अड़ने का नहीं कि भाई मेरा यस ठीक है बिल्कुल. Then it becomes overconfident that you take a position where you are not succumbing to others' point of view. So this point of view is an aspect which you have to consider, that you put your point of view in the best of your ability, and if it is not really coming out through, other guy will tell you about it. So either you convince that person or you get convinced with that. That is what I am saying. Not to take position, that becomes overconfident.
Eco design, go for eco design.
Go for eco design, don't go for ego design.
Yeah. So there are, see, I personally feel it too. And when you said that, I honestly took it on me because I am somewhere like that, and I have seen people like that too. So how do you change that kind of mindset and mentality of not going ego design but going eco design?
No, you see, the thing is that challenges which are there now on us is a very complex area which we are going through. Now, you must have heard, please take care of planet, please be respectful to planet. That is what you are hearing in all. But I just want to tell you, the planet was there. Millions of years ago also it was there. Planet is going to be there. Millions of years afterwards also it will be there. You will not be there. So I think it is not to take care of the planet. Please behave properly with the planet so you have a comfortable existence during time which you are there on the planet. So what I meant was that the ego has some degree of arrogance. Arrogance is that this is my way of doing it, if you like it, take it, or if I have created a brand. And old-fashioned design, it is that kind of thing, where there is a consciousness about responsible use of material or consideration of craftspeople or something may not be there. That guy is thinking about himself or herself because it's the thing which they have brought in. Unfortunately, in the linear economy, this thing has gone too much about the individualistic model of consumption. That I have resources so I can consume, I have resources, I can have big car, I have resources, all these things are there and we are part of it. It is not that I am also part of it, that this whole area of consumption which we are having, which is take, make, use and throw. This is the linear economy. You take out the material from planet, you make the product, you use the product and you throw the product. What we are saying is that even in fashion, where fast fashion is that all these people are saying that 2024 collection, 2025 autumn collection, 2026, they are forcing you to buy things actually. And then they are creating this particular thing that you are not contemporary if you don't buy. I think we have to be little conscious about, if you stop buying those things, then you become eco-friendly. And when you become eco-friendly as a consumer, I think somewhere we also have to find a model where the longevity in the product, or even in fashion, we see the carbon footprint, how we can minimize. It's not that it's not possible. Adidas have come out with a shoe design, and it's a very good material research they have done. 100% shoe, entire shoe, you put it in crushing machine, and the raw material which comes out is one material to make next generation shoe. Meaning at the moment you have to separate, you have to take out the rubber, you have to take out the top, you have to take out and segregate it, but they have cracked the material of that product. It's a design thing. 100% shoe, you put it in crushing and then it's a material for the next generation shoe. Those kind of things if you do, then it is eco-friendly actually.
So but then again your question arises to a new question which brings me here, that when you see it from a brand perspective, if you don't launch collections,
No, but you see the brand, you see it's again perception value which we are talking about. You know, in fashion design the fur was very much a prestigious thing, fur coats and all, and how society has rejected it, that you will not kill animals to have the fur coat, and nobody dare to sell fur coats, at least in India I don't think. So there is a social pressure comes up on the brands if they are not behaving eco-centric. If tomorrow it says that this product has consumed so much carbon footprint, and if you make a law or some such kind of thing, you will find that there are no taker of that kind of product if you say that it's not a carbon neutral thing. So these changes are coming slowly. Fashion certainly has a great deal of this carbon footprint which we are talking about, and there is a lot of greenwashing is also there, where people telling about slow fashion and other thing, but in reality I think we have to find out a way. We are not saying that you only have two pair of cloths. You have pair of cloths, but see that the process of designing has not consumed so much of carbon footprint. So those are the area we will have to go through slowly, and this compulsion is going to come in our lifetime.
Thank you, sir.
And maybe your brand or your ego will come that 100% carbon free, that ego you will satisfy. That way the ego will come.
Yes, sir, sure. Thank you, sir.
Can I just add, sir, like brands like Dior, who never acknowledged what they picked up from India, now they have started working closely with the artisans and they have started acknowledging them that these are the people behind the work, right? So even that acknowledgement is also one level of moving from that eco-centric approach to a more eco-centric approach, where you're being more inclusive, you're valuing the contribution of others also. So that's the first level that you can start with.
Collective wisdom.
Yeah, collective wisdom.
Any other question? Maybe we can take.
Hello, sir. Sir, actually my question was that when you said that good design is like making a dal and rasam, so how do we know when to turn off the stove, when to stop providing it heat?
How your mother stops all the things? See, she has also learned, that is a tacit knowledge which she has, and she will not even use the spoon and just pick the salt and put it like this, and it is correct. It comes with the experience, so that is called tacit knowledge which we have. We have to process the design processes that you must stop at a right place. Otherwise exploration is going on and on and on, and you are not happy. Then if you don't find appropriate solution within the time, if your faculty has given you a task, of course, which is in 3 weeks, and if you take 12 weeks to do that, complete that, there is no way you can find out it's a good design, even if it is a good design, because the challenge was to make it in 3 weeks. And I think right time you have to stop, right time you have to take decision, right time all those things, so within 3 weeks you can do it. And if you are mismatching, then like what will happen to dal, it will happen to your product also.
Very well. Most students fail to understand this context.
Because faculty also has to evaluate the solution within that time frame. It doesn't make sense if a simple, I give you a soap case design for a week and you take 12 weeks to design soap case, then there is no point in judging, because it's too, it doesn't make any sense. 3 दिन तक दाल बनाओगे तो खराब होगी ठीक है. Any last question? Then I have to really head off to airport then. Yeah.
So, sir, like in your 30-year career of
30 नहीं 40 हो गया है अभी.
okay. So, in like your 40 years career of design, so can you share with us some of the most innovative and unique designs that you have discovered, which could set an example for us also?
No, as I mentioned, you see contextual aspect which I talked about. As I mentioned, meaning I find that when this Tata Chemicals came out with the Swatch water purifier. Water purifier is a social problem. We don't have a clean water to drink, And that guy converted this product as simple as कि बाल्टी के ऊपर कपड़ा डालो, कुएं से पानी निकालो और कपड़े से छान कर पियो. That was the old practices. That practice where the kapra on the bucket where you filter it, he converted into the technology which is the rice husk nanotechnology. And the technology part was that the rice husk nanotechnology capsule he did, which is the pure chemical technology which is there. And exactly 2 compartment, top compartment, then this nanotechnology बीच में फिल्टर एंड नीचे बॉटम. exactly like that how we used to fetch the water from well and then put a cloth and then chano and it is drinkable. Same concept, he using very high end technology created no waste of water, 100% potable, 100% safe water. These are the innovations I would say are the unique innovation which I have come across, and they are so contextual. In this, our villages, you have seen RO, you know, you have seen AquaGuard. AquaGuard, how does it work? It works online water supply and electricity. Online water supply and electricity, AquaGuard works. Okay, now this country, villages, there is no online water supply. 1 घंटा सवेरे आता है, 1 घंटा शाम को आता है, बहुत सारी जगह पे electricity is not very what you call meaning it is improving but it is not there. Then suppose you are a working woman, you have to leave office at 8 o'clock in the morning and water comes at 9 o'clock. Who is going to really collect the water from AquaGuard? It is not in the context, Indian context. Indian context is where you make a water purifier which is suiting to your situation of work, where the power is not there, where the online water supply is not there, still you can create a water. That is the context I am talking, and we used to use technology and create that.
So this is a very simple question. I am not able to understand the real meaning of contextual here.
Context, as I mentioned, that in villages there is no online supply of water and there is no continuous electricity available. So context is that the water line is not there and electricity is not continuous. That is the context. And if you fit AquaGuard over there, it is not contextual.
परिवेश वातावरण.
आप समझ में आया कॉन्टेक्स्ट का मतलब?
Thank you so much.
चलो जी, मैं फ्लाइट नहीं मिस कर दूं कहीं. No, I enjoyed talking to you. I would like to have more dialogue with you, maybe smaller group next time when we come. But I hope that you develop some, means those who are in foundation here. One thing I would like, how many just raise the hand who are in foundation? You have taken a very good decision to become a designer. I tell you, our time people didn't know much about design. Today people are aware about design. Everybody is talking about the designer is very important link with the technocrats and with other thing, because it is not only lifestyle product which we are talking about. It is the healthcare, agriculture, anywhere you go. Sometime I'll show you what kind of range of products and services and systems and IT integrated design and service design and all. Even if you suppose I ask you to make a map for foundation student, your communication design, which are the important area for you, the art school student to go, you design a map, you design an app and give it to foundation people. They would know which bus is going where, how it is going there. It becomes a contextual for you guys to get absorbed in this city and become comfortable and what to do and all. So those are the things you can start working for your juniors and do some such kind of things and see that lot of things are happening within the classroom which can improve the quality of life. All right.